You ever have one of those times where you pick up an old shirt or an old pair of socks and you find this long thread just sticking out of it? So your first instinct is to what? Probably grab that thread, pull on it just to get rid of it and go about your day, right? But then what happens is you end up pulling on that thread and that thread just pulls another thread and another thread, or it ends up just yanking so far that you end up having this giant hole in your shirt or your pair of socks. Well, today's video is kind of like that. So the number one question that I've been getting lately has been, when am I gonna finish the Cefiro? And honestly, I have no idea what to ever tell people. Every time that I think I'm getting a little bit closer, I feel like I'm getting about 5 steps farther away. Every time I start going down to that car, I find something new that I either wanna take away or change or replace, or you get one of those mindsets where you're like, you change one thing and then you're like, maybe I'm gonna change this too, because if that breaks, well, I should probably change this too because I don't want that to break. Or if I have this new part and that old part, that's probably not gonna work very well for very long together. So my mindset is change it all while you can so you don't have to take it apart and do it a second time. Well, this is where our video gets a little bit complicated. Remember that old thread metaphor that I was just using right now? Well, in this box, you're gonna see the thread that I pulled on the Cefiro as of late. I don't know what I just got myself into. I started pulling off one thread, meaning I started pulling off one of these little harnesses, and I thought that I was gonna be able to have an easier time getting this done because the whole plan was to be able to take the engine harness down to a shop that I found out recently about that can actually do my wiring harness for me. I've been having a hard time finding somebody that's gonna be able to put the Cefiro harness with the Skyline harness and make it all work perfectly because there's a few connectors that don't exactly work. Well, I thought that it was gonna be just as easy as simply grabbing a harness and taking them down to the store and then having them do it all up, right? Making a new harness for me. But this is where it gets a little bit complicated. So yesterday I was down in the car and I started pulling off some of the different harness pieces, and then I saw that it didn't exactly end where I was hoping it would end. In fact, it's the entire body harness in this car that I pulled out. I basically have every single piece from the car yanked out of the car at this point and sitting in this box, well, wiring wise. So that's the original engine harness from the RB20E, and then this is the body harness from all the way from the firewall to the trunk. It's insane how much of wiring I pulled out of it. And it's just one long piece. The only thing that's still left in the car is the wiring for the door and I think the fuel pump. That's about it. But everything else that you see in here is for the car. And then over in this other box over here, we have the RB20 DET engine harness. So I've been talking to my buddy over at Autogara Services, and he was telling me about a wiring shop here in Malaysia locally where they do a lot of custom wiring harnesses for customers, not only here in Malaysia, but in fact all around the world. I looked them up and they actually have harnesses that they've been sending out to the United States, to other parts of the world, and they're all for different custom applications. So I thought this would be the perfect place that I could take my harness to. Originally I was gonna send it off to the United States to a place called Wiring Services where they do a really fantastic job. But between the cost of shipping my old stuff, ordering the new stuff, and then paying for customs and everything for it to come back to Malaysia, I didn't think it was gonna be a very financially smart decision to do that. Fortunately, I found this place here and I'm gonna go ahead and check them out. We're gonna be heading over to the shop right now with the harnesses in hand and we're gonna see what they can do with them. Hopefully, everything goes okay in the way I'm hoping it would go, but we'll have to wait and see until we meet the owner over there. I haven't been there yet, but I'm gonna head over there now and go see if they can help me out. So, let's go. So I'm down here in Sunway at a place called R&R Autosport, who are a company that specializes in making engine harnesses for all sorts of different vehicles. And they also make different ECU setups as well for Lynx, for Motec, for Haltech, all sorts of different aftermarket ECUs. So if you're looking for a company that can make a harness for you, definitely come and check this spot out. I already dropped off my harness to them and they're gonna go ahead and start looking at how they can make me a brand new harness for my car. So I'm really, really excited about that. And if you look behind me, you can even see one of the cars that they're working on. They even do dyno tuning over here, which is also really cool because I didn't know another place over here that does dyno tuning, at least another place nearby that can actually tune your car on the dyno. So that's really cool too. Actually, they even have a car on the dyno right now. Let's go ahead and check it out. So right now they're tuning this GT86 over here, and that's the owner right there. He's looking for an issue that might be running with this car. So while he's doing that, I'll give you guys a quick show of the workshop that they have here. So the place, like I said, is called R&R Autosport, and you guys can look them up on Facebook. They have a website there, and there's another sticker shop back there if you guys need to get stickers done. But check this out. So Ramai is a little bit busy right now. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys this S15 Sylvia that they have over here. So this thing is looking nice. I need one of these in my life. Look at that. So cool. Gotta love a nice little top mount setup on an S15 motor. We got some carbon fiber accent pieces here. It's crazy to think like cars like this just sitting outside here in Malaysia. I wish we had stuff like this back in the States. So nice. Maybe I need to get rid of the Cefiro and get one of these instead so I don't have to deal with the wiring issues. But one of the other specialties they do are 8.6s here. In fact, he has a KE70 as well that he's building right now. So if you guys have any KE70s or any sort of like old school Toyotas or something like that, they can definitely hook you up. So I just left the workshop now. They're busy dyno tuning the GT86 over there, so I don't want to be a bother for them. But there's a whole bunch of other car shops over here that I thought we could take a look at. I'm just gonna film some of the cars that I saw when I was coming in. I saw like Supras, R35s, all sorts of cool stuff. So let's see if I can get some cool shots of these cars. Got a few nice looking Fairlady Z's outside of this shop over here. And then over here I saw they had a wrapped Altezza. Spotted an R35 GTR, and then we had a couple Evos over here. This is a really cool spot. I've never actually walked around Sunway before, but look, you got like an Olin shop there. I mean, it's just nothing but speed shops everywhere you look. It's so cool. Now, this is one of the places I wanted to show you guys, ATS Automobile. Every time I pass by this place, there's so many sick looking R35 GTRs outside. I mean, look at this thing. They have more over here. So nice. And then they got the blue one over there and a gray one over there. More inside. So sick. Oh, didn't even see the R34 in there.
3 weeks later.
Alright, so it's been a couple weeks since I recorded all that footage that you guys saw earlier in the video, but I haven't been sleeping on the project, I promise you that. In fact, the biggest reason why I haven't really been posting anything about the car is because, really, I'm waiting for parts to come in the mail, or I'm waiting for things to come back from powder coating, or, as you can tell, waiting on the wiring harness. That's something that takes probably about a month to maybe even a month and a half, because it's not the only project that the guy's working on in his own shop, and it's probably not a big high priority item, because right now, the car is just like a toy, and it's not something that I need to have. So, you know, I'm just letting the guy take his time and do it right, and I don't want to rush anybody with anything. But I figured I could at least show you some of the cool stuff that I've gotten over the last couple weeks that some of you guys haven't seen unless you follow me on my Instagram account. So a couple things that I've gotten done over the last couple weeks was I got this blow-off valve pipe powder coated, a beautiful black color, and if you've seen my photos on Instagram, you would see this thing was looking pretty grimy. It just wasn't in the best of shape. And then I got this fuel rail also powder coated, which I was so impressed with how this came out. I mean, it looks brand new. I mean, look at it. This thing is amazing. This thing was looking really oxidized and nasty. And again, you can see the pictures on my Instagram account. And the other thing I got done was a guy named Ahmed. He actually balanced all of my injectors and cleaned them out, replaced all the seals that are on the inside. If I can get the focus there. Well, I can't. There you go. I think it's focusing. And he replaced all the gaskets, the insulators, the seals, everything on these injectors. So this thing is balanced and shooting right. And then another thing that I got done was this bar right here. Now this thing, oh my goodness, this thing was completely rusted out. I cannot believe how well this thing turned out. And the paint on it, well, I mean, it's not paint, it's powder coat, but man, it just looks brand spanking new. And that's the thing I love about powder coating parts, is it just makes something old look new, and you don't have to replace everything if you don't want to without finding, I mean, some of this stuff you can't find anywhere. Like, this is all discontinued items, or if you find it, it's gonna be in bad shape. And honestly, I don't know where you're gonna find any of it anyway, especially how rare these cars are. And I'll be honest, finding parts for the Cefiro has been a mission. I've been pulling my hair out trying to find some of the basic parts, but so far I've had pretty decent luck. Another thing that I got recently was this GK Tech slave cylinder line that goes from the slave cylinder all the way to the master cylinder. So this thing is super important, especially if you're doing a 5-speed conversion. And I mean, everything else you've pretty much seen. The dashboard looking nice and clean. I got some of the stuff installed up there just to kind of get it ready for install. And let's see, I don't know, there's not too much else. Oh, actually, there is something really cool in this box. Now again, if you're following me on my JDMS2KPTY Instagram account, you guys will know exactly what was in this box. And if you don't, go ahead and check out the Instagram page. I definitely update that a lot more than I do on YouTube with the car stuff because it's a lot more frequent, it's easier to post everything, and you know, what's so exciting about getting a slave cylinder line in the mail? You know, it's something I can just post up on Instagram. I can't really spend a 10-minute video or make a 10-minute video about me getting a slave cylinder line. It's just not as interesting, but this is pretty cool. So anyway, I got this in the mail about a month ago, actually, believe it or not. I don't even know if I've showed this on video. Maybe I have, but this actually is an HKS front mount intercooler kit that was actually designed for the HCR32 Skyline, which is the GTS2 Skyline. But everything actually lines up with the Cefiro, which I'm super, super excited about. And I got this thing for a sick deal. I couldn't believe it. I got it in Japan Yahoo Auctions, or Yahoo Auction Japan, whatever you want to call it. But it is an authentic HKS kit. It's in amazing shape. It definitely needs to be polished and cleaned up. I mean, what do you expect? The thing is probably like 25 years old, but I couldn't believe it. But anyway, stick around, guys. I swear this car is gonna be up and running. Honestly, I should have all the pieces finally done and ready to go. In fact, I've got all the tools that I've been waiting and saving up to buy, which is this whole drill kit that I needed to set up the intercooler kit, because that was like one of the biggest things that was keeping me from being able to buy an intercooler and install it. So fingers crossed. All I'm really waiting on is a few parts that are coming back from powder coating, which is like the HKS downpipe that I sent off, as well as, I don't know, some other random bits. But anyway, everything is coming into play. I'm super excited. If everything goes into, you know, if all the pieces fall into place or whatever you want to say, everything should be done and ready to go. I was hoping by the end of February, but really I'm waiting on the wiring, which is going to be the biggest thing that I'm waiting on. As soon as I have that, everything should be coming in. So let's say mid-March. That's my goal. Fingers crossed. Hopefully that happens. But anyway, guys, stick around. There's a lot more content coming up for the Cefiro, as well as all these other things. And in fact, I don't know, I have some ideas for the channel. Maybe I'm thinking about taking it in a new direction. I haven't quite decided yet, but I don't know. I'll vote with you guys and we'll figure it out. But anyway, stick around, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you then. Peace.